There is a reason why the Yonex Astrox 88S was the most popular racket and the Astrox 88D was the third most popular racket with the pros. So today I'm going to give you a quick review and compare them to tell you why they are so good and so popular. So just to quickly clarify as well, the S represents the skill model and the D represents the dominate model, as you can see printed on both rackets. So the two Astrox 88 in front of me here are the second generation colour scheme. The previous generation's colour scheme was green and red, separating the two models. For this generation, red is the main colour for both rackets, and with a splash of white for the 88D, and the 88S ends up with black. The decals are all in the same place, with similar designs, with the only difference being the 88S having a 5mm long decal instead of the usual 10mm long decal. The cone is also painted with the respective black or white colour depending on the model to suit. So these samples are in 4UG5 and they come in different weights and grip sizes depending on where you're from. They weigh just a touch under 90 grams when strung, although the 4U weight class designates 80 to 84 grams in weight, which I believe they are weighed empty. So a few grams get added onto the racket from the strings, all perfectly normal. I'm also sure you would have noticed from me saying early on that the Astrox 88S has a 5mm long decal instead of 10mm on the 88D. This is because the Astrox 88S is actually 5mm shorter than the usual top-end Yonex racket. So the 88S is only just 670mm. So this 5mm reduction actually comes in from the reduction in length of the wooden handle and not the length of the shaft. I measured the wooden handle on the 88S and it came in at 16cm with the wooden handle of the 88D at 16.5. The shaft length on both rackets are 22cm. So having a shorter wooden handle, you would have a slightly shorter swing, hence a quicker, sharper response from the 88S. In comparison, the Astrox 100ZZ has a wooden handle length of 17.5cm and 20.5 in shaft length. Both rackets also have recessed design profile on the top half of the frame to optimize its swing aerodynamics, as well as 4 sets of single pass grommets stringing system, which is normal for top-end Yonex rackets. Both rackets also have their energy boost cap as their cone cap connecting the shaft to the wooden handle and have a shaft diameter of about 7mm, which then they designate as the super slim shaft. So in terms of feel, both rackets are certainly within the head heavy category group, and you can actually noticeably feel the weight of the head of the racket when doing short, sharp racket swings. However, with head weight comes power. Both rackets have easy power, with the 88D feeling slightly slower and sluggish compared to the 88S, but having more power at the back. I also remembered the 88D having a slightly harder feel compared to the 88S, but it could be the strings at the time, but I thought there was a slight difference. So both rackets have stiff shafts, so again helping with power generation. I would put the shaft stiffness at around 8 or 8.5 out of 10, with the likes of a Voltric Z-Force 2 in 10. Both rackets also have smooth swing, but at the same time being pretty nimble. So I personally prefer G5 grip sizes, so I love how both rackets felt when changing grips from forehand to the backhand and vice versa. What are your thoughts about these two rackets? Are they worth the hype they generate? Or do you think both rackets are actually the same thing with just different lengths of the wooden handle? Leave your comments down below. So personally, I find both rackets really nice to play with and were very well made, as do all top-end Yonex rackets. I also preferred the 4U versions over the 3U, with the 88S slightly faster than the 88D, but the 88D had more power. I would also give an 8 for the overall stiffness for the 88S and an 8.5 for the 88D. They're not the stiffest or the hardest feeling rackets, but definitely right up there depending on your string choice. In terms of user friendliness and responsiveness, I would give it a solid 8 for both rackets. On your good days, these rackets will reward you with lots of power along with very crisp shots. On your bad days, you might have to work a little harder for your shots, with the 88D needing a bit more TLC than the 88S. If you're in the UK, check out YC Sports for all your badminton needs and use CKU as an additional discount code on top of their already competitive pricing. I'll see you in the next one.